Welcome to the 25 Days of Empowerment. This is day 23, April 23rd, 2024. And I'm Emiliana Patrick. You can find me at thepatrickpearl.com. I am a breathwork facilitator. I'm an astrologer and an acupuncturist. You can find me at the Student Clinic in South French Broad, Daoist Tradition Student Clinic, and that's in Asheville, North Carolina.
And hi, I'm Tiffany. I'm a self-love and feminine empowerment coach, but my messages are for everyone. And you can connect with me on Instagram at tigerlily.and.co.
So today we're going to talk about the full moon a little bit more in depth. And I just want to mention that yesterday's recording, April 22nd, we really outlined deeply how to work with any full moon. And we're not going to repeat that. But here are the steps. And our recommendation is you go back and into that audio and you really listen to that, because that will help you work with this and any other full moon you want to work with. Just a reminder, you can do this April 22nd. Well, today's the 23rd, but all day yesterday. And you can work with this until 7:49 Eastern time today. So in this audio, we're going to go into the nature of this particular full moon and dive more deeply into how you work with it. And by the way, if you've already done ceremony yesterday, you can do it again today. That's the beauty of working with a time period. I've done this many times. I do multiple things, like things come up for me, like, okay, this is full in my life. Didn't see it the first time. Do another thing, burn it, the whole bit. Sometimes it happens that way.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, this full moon is happening right after this really powerful Jupiter Uranus lining up, or conjunction. In that conjunction, we were asked to come more deeply into our authenticity, to honor our own unique nature, even when it saddens us.
Mm-hmm.
Even when we have to say no to things we wish were in alignment, although they're not. We were also asked to define prosperity for ourselves so that we can claim it, and to not confuse prosperity with success.
Mm-hmm.
Prosperity as we ourselves, our own unique being, can define it. Simply put, at this full moon, this is about fear. So in your journal on this full moon, write down everywhere in your life you're afraid to be yourself. You are afraid of your own unique nature. You have seen things in yourself that you're terrified of,
Mm-hmm.
that you don't want other people to see because they scare you.
Mm-hmm.
Anywhere you're not good enough, where you think you're not good enough. And I say that like anywhere you're not good enough, because that's so ingrained in pieces of us.
Yes.
Anywhere you're comparing yourself to someone else, because the moment you're comparing, you are no longer in touch with your true nature. And anywhere you've been lying to yourself, and you can see it now. Where are you putting on a brave face, but really underneath you're scared shitless? This is a full moon in Scorpio, where the sun and the moon are squaring Pluto, saying there are things that you can no longer deny. What are they? Get honest and list them out. Any insight into this part, Tiffany?
It is very strange for me to listen to you basically narrate my own internal dialogue and what I have been feeling. So I'm going to share some of my own personal experiences in hopes of just helping people see these kind of higher level concepts fully in action. So I have always been terrified of my voice. of sharing my own personal thoughts and my own inner world. I'm very well read. I read and consume information a lot, but I struggle to speak and to basically regurgitate what I have been reading and what I know is true. And over the course of this transit, I have been told in multiple ways that my voice has power. The fact that you are watching this right now shows me that my voice has power. And early in this transit, I just felt really confident because of the friends I'd surrounded myself with. And I posted an Instagram video just of me just talking about an experience and bringing it back to self-love and empowerment. And it kind of went viral. Like, it kind of went viral. It was weird. But it showed me, one, how powerful my voice can be, because I got a lot of angry men who commented, and it showed me that it triggered people. And I have been scared to share my voice because I know it does trigger people, but I know that it is the truth. And in my past, when I have shared the truth, I've always been met with those triggers. So I haven't done it. And so by doing my own inner work and finding people like Emiliana who are in alignment with my full authentic being and my truth, it gave me the support that I needed to get out of my own way. It was me that was blocking my voice the entire time. So by just having that support and knowing myself and also being willing to take that step out, I was very much shown by the interwebs that this is strong, this is powerful. And while, yes, I did get some angry men in my comment section, I'm sorry for all the men watching this right now. It's nothing against you. But I had so many more women that showed up and stood up to these men that I was like, okay, yes, I will be supported if I come out. And yesterday we received our first comment on our YouTube channel, and it brought me so much joy and was a reminder to me that these messages that I have need to be shared. So I share all of that just as a way of illustrating in real time what this looks like. It was me standing in my way the whole time because I felt scared, because I was worried about feeling vulnerable. And that transmits as shame.
Mm.
I was bringing shame onto myself by saying, I don't have anything worth sharing. I don't have anything worth value. And that's old conditioning and past from other people. And that goes back lineages. That's not just one person. That is the culture that we live in. And I'm not all the way through it. I am still in these transits with you, but that it just wanted to share an illustration of what can be when you step out of your own way and lean into your power.
Thank you so much for sharing that.
Mm-hmm.
So that actually, a good question is, where am I empowering myself now? But where am I still scared? Where am I still scared to really come into my own being? Now, I also want to mention, because I'm working with two wonderful people, both are working with pretty deep things that are coming out. And this is a full moon in Scorpio. If you find that something really deep is being known to your awareness, please seek help. Please don't feel, even though we had this transit that's all about individuality, there is a place for support. There are reasons why hotlines exist.
Mm-hmm.
And recognize also, Tiffany brought up a fantastic point about shame and guilt. This is a great full moon to just write about any shame, humiliation, rape. And that could be all forms of rape.
Mhm.
Any darkness that you've experienced that you feel victimized by, to just write it out and say, here is what I'm ashamed to admit.
Mhm.
But if you feel vulnerable, if you feel scared, if you need support, please, please reach out,
Mhm.
because that's a piece of this. A piece of this is acknowledgement. What did you say about shame and silence? I don't remember what you were saying earlier.
Yes, yes. So shame, this is from Dr. Brene Brown. She researches human emotions. And one of the things that she's found in her research is that shame lives in silence. And so if you are silenced, if you don't feel that you can speak out, that fear is a breeding ground for shame. And to go to your point, Emiliana, about some of these really deep, dark truths, especially around rape. Um, Rape is not just a physical violence. There is a lot more to that. And that goes to a lot of other pieces around sex that we may feel shame and guilt around. And I don't want to bypass the fact that there is trauma associated with this. And so sometimes our trauma can put us into a place of shame. And by just writing it out, that can feel very scary. And I want to remind you, we get to burn this. We get to burn this. So if there are those really deep, uncomfortable truths, close your eyes, write it out, take that piece of paper, scrunch it up. You can burn it. But that is baby step one to overcoming the shame.
And you might be surprised at because you're doing this at a full moon, the relief that you will feel once that moon turns full at 7:49 p.m. I've experienced this myself, where I have been afraid to admit things. And I didn't get the relief right away, but I noticed it always happened right after the moon turned full. Again, think of it as this thing, just by stating it, you're already loosening the attachment. You're already loosening the story. You're already beginning the process, you know? So this is a wonderful moon to work with any feelings of shame and guilt. The other thing in the next 2 weeks that there's an offering for you to do is to create something, like honor what you've been through by making a creation, writing a poem, creating a piece of art, doing some scrapbooking. You know, it doesn't have to mean anything to anybody. That's the beautiful part. And then you can burn that before the next new moon if you wish. You
Mhm.
know, there's the balsamic ceremony, which we have. I don't remember if we've done one of these in the 25 days, but balsamic is like we let go completely, and you can burn it then. It's like this is just about acknowledgement and knowing that you're not alone in whatever it is. And
Mhm.
even though we don't know you personally, we have created this container, and you can feel our love and support for whatever it is that you've gone through.
Yes. And
And
other people watching this and other people doing the same ceremony. And you may not see them, but you are energetically connected and supported.
exactly. The other piece of this full moon chart I just want to acknowledge is there is a way through. And that's about making time for your own spiritual practice, whatever that means to you. It's not even about what you're doing. Like, it's about making some time and choosing an activity where you feel connected to all that is. For some people, that's enjoying a cup of coffee.
Mhm.
For some people, it's playing the piano.
Mhm.
For some people, it's playing golf. For other people, it's taking a walk in the woods. For some people, it's meditating or doing yoga. It doesn't matter.
Mhm.
This is about making time for inner nurturance of a spiritual nature.
Mhm.
It could be reading poetry. It doesn't matter. And you know it because you feel more peaceful at the end of it. That's how you choose. What do you do that brings you the most peace in your life? That's what you need to carve out a lot of time for in the coming months and defend that time as fiercely as you defend time that you need to do work or do a project or
Yes.
whatever it is in your daily life.
Yes.
Um, so that's the other piece of this chart that says, here's another way through.
Mhm. I love that. I love that. And I love the piece about defending it as fiercely as you would any other part of your day, anything that you have to do for your job or your work. Your self-care is just as, I would say, even more important than those pieces.
So that's what we've got for you today. Have a great full moon.